Human Gambit Series, Book 1. Chapter 6, Max Readies himself. Max snapped back to the present, now resigned to his fate. Piloting an FTL ship on a mission to save Earth from a rogue comet was never on his bucket list, yet here he was. He would do his best to pilot the conglomeration of disparate technologies to the outer solar system and intercept the comet. However, pilot might not be the right word, as the ship is incapable of active maneuvering of any kind. Max wouldn't be using a joystick or any other type of control or dynamic feedback flight system. He would simply be tapping icons on a display console to activate software stages as needed. There are still so many things that need to be fixed with this ship's systems, Max thinks. Hell, I'm not sure Scrappy can even travel in a straight line. I'll be lucky to make it outside the atmosphere, let alone into deep space. Maybe. If I win the cosmic lottery, I'll return to Earth alive, perhaps even come back a hero. So the hero of humanity it is, but not like any hero I've ever envisioned. A conquering hero returning from a journey to save the world in his space bus and wearing a smelly adult diaper? Max sighs. Why couldn't the ship at least have been cool looking, like a stealth fighter or something? The Scraptech prototype available would never be considered cool. Personally, Max thought the ship resembled an old minibus. Thus, the moniker Scrappy One. Scrappy for scrapyard junk, and because they will soon scrap with a comet. One because it's the first and likely last of its kind. It's also an appropriate name for a ship created by a company that started out as a recycling scrapyard for the world's technology giants. Sure, Scrappy is shiny and gray with no windows or tires, but it still reminds me of an old minibus, or maybe a bullet, Max thinks. After Max entered the ship, it was sealed tight, along with no windows or tires. There was no door, no hatch access from the outside. The hull surface had to be as smooth as possible to prevent the formation of any electromagnetic-induced eddy currents and high-voltage breakouts. In this configuration, the skin of the ship became part of the field matrix equipment. While Max was getting settled in, the ship's crystalline semiconductor skin was applied in multiple alternating layers. By using different forms of plasma in the presence of strong structured magnetic fields and lasers. If this were a vid or sim, Max thinks to himself, my name would be Buck Hardwick. I'd be flying into deep space in a converted comet-busting stealth bomber. I'd have a gun in one hand and a stogie in the other. All the while I'd be itching to slam the giant red button on my ship's overly complicated control console, deploy the nuclear weapon, and blow the comet to dust. But no. That was not his reality. Instead, Max sat crammed into a flight suit, wearing an adult diaper, inside a scrapyard bus that would be jumping like it had a busted transmission. Max chuckles to himself and exclaims, "Yep, this is definitely real life." Then he takes a deep breath, releases it, and touches the icon that will bring the ship's internal systems online.